Welcome to We Don't Color on the Dog. We got with us Ed Spears, city manager from Milton. Ed, y'all had a big win, this permit for the new treatment plant. Talk a little bit about it.
Well, first of all, hello, Rick, and Happy New Year. I haven't talked to you in a while. It's great to see you. Thanks for having me on. In December 2024, new council was seated here in Milton, and they immediately went to work on revamping our wastewater treatment plant project that we have been working on. They chose a new site to resite the plant to, a new spray field disposal area. And in about 13 months, we've been notified this past Friday that we have the permits from FDEP to go to this new location for both the plant and for the spray fields. And that's just light speed to get
It is.
a permit of that magnitude done in that amount of time. Our partners at Baskerville Donovan, second to none in getting this done. Our staff here at the city have worked diligently in carrying out this new directive from the city council. And it really is something to celebrate. It's quite an achievement.
Well, the history is the town had been sort of frozen on this issue for a while. And there was a group that wasn't happy with the original site. There's a lot of funding that was involved that you've been able to hold on to, which is important. But a town can't grow without a treatment facility. It just can't. You can't build enough septic tanks to handle the growth, and you don't want to have them when you're a city like yours that's right there on a river, right there on the bay. It's critical to be able to treat that differently than it has in the past. What does this do for Milton as far as, one, the quality of the water around the rivers and the bay, but also the quality of future growth?
Well, this is the number one project to protect our environment long term. The number one threat to our waterways in this area are septic tanks, like you mentioned. Once they fail, that's untreated raw sewage going directly into our groundwater and our aquifers. Recently, we've had East Bay, Blackwater Bay oyster habitats shut down from farming due to high fecal coliform and other bacteria that we know are coming from agricultural uses and from septic tanks that are failing. So, the septic tanks is the big enemy here that we're trying to address. The city, we're at capacity at our current plant. It's rated for 2.5 million gallons of treatment per day. We're averaging over 2 million gallons a day that we treat at that plant. We just can't add any capacity there. It's landlocked. It's surrounded by wetlands. It's in a dangerous area for hurricanes and tropical storms. We wouldn't want to do it anyway. It's just through the course of time, we ended up with our bathroom in our living room. It's the exact same scenario as downtown Pensacola and the old Stinky plant. And so that's what we're looking to have the similar outcome, which is build for our future, protect the environment, and create opportunities for economic development behind it in downtown Milton.
Yeah, that's a great comparison to the Main Street plant that has now been gone for over 10 years now, almost 20 years. It is because, that plant was built because everything went downhill to it. And you went downhill, and then, at the time you didn't have enough homes to make a difference. And you think, okay, we could just put it in this big body of water and, it
No one will
won't
know.
matter, and downtown Pensacola was similar, the same type of situation, and it created, downtown couldn't grow out, because, you were in City Hall, everything to the west of City Hall, very little growth could take place because that plant was squatting right there. And, you could, from the top floor of City Hall, you could see how the water changed at the outfall of that sewage treatment plant when they pumped 20 million gallons out there into the bay.
Yep, absolutely. And when we look at the opportunity to expand, we've reserved capacity for inside the city limits, that extra 500,000 gallons, because we're in basically a built out situation. So something new being built in the city is really not going to impact that capacity. But outside the city limits, all of these new subdivisions that you hear about in East Milton and surrounding areas, we simply cannot service them. And they're being built on either package plants or on septic tanks. And we know that's not a long-term solution. And so the sooner we can get this new 4 million gallon per day plant built and operational, the sooner we'll be able to absorb those needs as the community grows to protect the environment long term.
Well, and the other thing that happens, the economies of scale. I mean, when I was on the Gulf Breeze City Council, again in the dark ages, we had this, South Santa Rosa utility, and we bought that right as I was coming into office, because our little treatment plant that we had inside the city of Gulf Breeze was failing rapidly, and we needed to do something. And by adding more customers, you can upgrade the quality of service, and the cost is laid over more customers, which makes your rates more tolerable for everybody.
Absolutely. And we're committed to doing this as much as possible without an impact on our ratepayers here in our water and wastewater utility. They've already paid for the infrastructure that services their homes. So it's not really fair to put that burden on them for us to be able to expand and service these areas outside the city. So that's why we're working with state and federal partners and seeking out aggressively all these various funding mechanisms, so that we don't have to look at rate increases solely to fund this. And we're getting creative, we're getting aggressive. Now that we have these permits, we're able to move forward on a much faster timeline because we're shovel ready. Without the permits, it's still a 50-50 coin toss on if you're going to get them or not. But once you have them in hand, the funding sources view your project considerably different in that you are shovel ready. Now you have a permit, you're legally have the opportunity to build this. And we're moving forward with our first step that will actually be the first kind of symbolic construction step. And we've put an RFP out for clearing and grubbing of 350 acres of property to service these spray fields. And that's out on the street right now. It's on the clock. We'll be getting those back here next month and moving forward as quickly as possible. I've been told it'll take a year to clear 300. Working, around the clock just about every day. So it's a big project. Just when you bite off chunks like that, those are multi-million-dollar components. But when you put this whole thing together, we look to have 100% of the effluent out of the Blackwater River for the first time, in 100 years here in 2027.
That's an amazing accomplishment, Ed, and kudos to your team, Basketball Donovan, the way y'all put it together. You're right. Having been involved on the utility side from a municipality point of view, these permits aren't easy to get. There's a lot of hoops to go through, a lot of hearings that need to be held. It just doesn't happen easily. And for you, this is a huge accomplishment for you too. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Like I said, it's a great team. They do the heavy lifting. I get to come on and talk to great people like you and get to be the face of it. But behind the scenes,
we need to get somebody else to be the face. I mean, we got to figure that out.
Maybe my PIO next time. She'll be a much better option.
As we say here too, it's hard to have me as the face, but it's a free paper, so that helps. So
I've definitely got a face for radio, Rick. I'll tell you that.
So do I. Ed, thank you for coming on. We'll do this again, but congratulations.
Thank you so much, Rick. Have a happy new year. We'll see you soon.
All right.
Thanks for watching, and to keep up with what's going on, be sure and subscribe. Just click on the little dog to the right and click the subscribe button. You can also like this video and click on the bell, which will notify you of new content. This really helps the channel grow. We appreciate you.